The agri-food industry in Ontario is worth $37 billion. It has a growth rate of around 3% and employs 800,000 people. Over the next few minutes, we're going to talk about Gryphon's LAAIR, a unique way that the University of Guelph and the province are helping create new products and services for this growing sector. And while it's always important to nurture the agri-food industry, feed Canadians, be competitive globally, with COVID on everyone's minds, maintaining this capacity of our agri-food sector is critical. With me right now is David Hobson. David is the Manager of Technology Transfer and Entrepreneurship within the Research Innovation Office at the University of Guelph, and David has been involved in Gryphon's LAAIR since day one. Welcome, David.
It's a pleasure to be here, Jay.
Happy to have you. Tell us about the history of Gryphon's LAAIR.
Well, the Gryphon's LAAIR program was started in 2014. And to date, we've funded over 70 projects and collaborated with more than 60 industry partners. And this program really is a product of our partnership with the Ontario Ministry of Agricultural, Food and Rural Affairs, or as we like to call them, OMAFRA. And it was originally started to fund moonshots, to create disruptive technologies. But after we tried that, we found that's pretty risky. And so we actually pivoted the program. And so now we actually have a two-phase program that funds initially market research on UofG inventions. And if this turns out to be positive and we get some good feedback, then we fund product development projects where our researchers work with industry with feedback from industry in order to create innovations that are meeting unmet needs in the market. So our goal really here is to transform our agri-food inventions at the university into innovations that industry and people want to buy and use.
Gotcha. So Gryphon's LAAIR program identifies research that's got some commercial potential and helps those organizations, those companies, that innovation get closer to market.
Yes, exactly. So we don't actually take it to market. We help others take it to market. So really, our funding is given to researchers that have already invented things and created inventions, that do things like make our food safer or protecting the natural resources of the province that feed us all, or tools and things that increase our capacity to grow more food in Ontario. But most often I would say that they involve creating new products and services that make our Ontario agri-food sector either globally or domestically more competitive. So in short, the goal of the Gryphon's LAAIR program is to help our researchers de-risk their early stage inventions so that they can turn into useful innovations.
You use the word de-risk. I'm curious as to what de-risking looks like as we're inventing a new technology.
Yeah, I guess that's a bit of jargon. So, in the investing world and the innovation development space, de-risking is about proving the value and usefulness of a product or technology before it's passed into the hands of industry. So, or sometimes we pass it to a startup. And so really it's their job to bring a final product to market, and they want to do that with, a less risky product that has all the bugs worked out. So the idea is to remove as much of the uncertainty as possible while you're demonstrating, the technology's practical value in real world conditions.
We hear about funding in many types of ways: Series A, B, C funding, venture capital funding, seed funding. What's unique about the way that Gryphon's LAAIR is set up and the funding that they provide?
Yeah, good point, Jay. So Gryphon's LAAIR is what a lot of investing people call gap funding. And, really what that means is that, we're providing funding to researchers so they can convert their inventions into proven investment-ready products and services, So this enables a much safer and better transfer of the technology from academia to industry. So essentially, it bridges the gap between these two parties, between academia and industry. So there's very few gap funding programs that exist in Canada. And it's very hard to get, continuous, reliable funding at this critical point in time in the innovation process. So, this program really couldn't happen anywhere else if it wasn't for kind of our unique, excellent strategic alignment that we have with the three key players. And those are obviously the University of Guelph, which is the Canadian leader in agricultural research, but it's also industry. Ontario's ag industry is the biggest in Canada, and the Ontario government, who's responsible for managing the Ontario economy. So this tripartite relationship is fantastic.
Some innovations, they fall apart. That's just a natural part of trying something new. But there's obviously been a lot of success stories.
It's really a wide range of products and services that have been created through this program over the years. But I must say that one of our biggest successes is Mirexis Biotechnologies. And, they were our first project that we funded many years ago, and also our most successful. Things take time. And we gave them a grant of $125,000 in 2014 to do product development. It was they're developing their first product, and that kickstarted the growth of Mirexis, which now has 17 employees. They've raised over $20 million, and they recently built a manufacturing plant in Guelph. So they're definitely our homegrown winners.
Yes, I drove past Mirexis just recently. It's exciting to see that popping up in Guelph, happening locally. I understand there are some projects that have already been funded in 2020.
Yes, congratulations are in order. We have 5 new projects for 2020, 4 product development grants and 1 market validation grant. So we have Dr. George Vandermeer, and he's working with Escarpment Labs to develop new methods to reuse special strains of yeast for the brewing industry. We also have Dr. Bonnie Millard and Dr. Art Hill that are going to be working with the CMEX Alliance to create a novel immunity plus colostrum product that will improve the health of calves. And we have Thomas Koch, who will be working with EcuCell Biotechnologies and the equine vet industry to develop stem cells for horses. And we have Dr. John Dutcher, who is working with Verify to develop new skincare products made out of naturally based phytoglycogen. Lastly, we have Dr. Thomas Graham, who is doing market research to evaluate the commercial opportunities for his new environmentally friendly method of disinfecting water from greenhouses. So that's congratulations to those 5 applicants.
Absolutely. Congratulations to all 5 of those. We've got research happening in the equine industry, skincare, brewing. These are all happening in 2020. What does 2021 and beyond look like for the Gryphon's LAAIR?
Good question. Well, we definitely do have plans to continue the program for at least 5 more years, and we hope to expand the program if possible. But that means we're going to need more industry partners to get involved, to help us develop more minimum viable products to meet those unmet needs in industry. And of course, we're hoping to build and support more startup companies that are based on inventions that are created by University of Guelph researchers.
And what's one more example of those inventions started by UofG researchers?
Well, I happen to have one of our most famous inventions, which is created by industry, which are these compostable coffee pods, which were based on research which came out of the University of Guelph, out of Amar Mohanty's lab. And I'm going to pass that over to you. Take a look.
Yeah, please do. Whoa. Oh. Right there. Nice. Yeah, the Great Canadian.
Good job.
The coffee. Incredible. Thank you so much, David. It's delightful to hear all these success stories and a bright future. We're going to send it back to myself in the present to hear the judge's decision. So we take you to that.